Hi, my name is Jerome Corley, host and creative director of The Independent. I thought I'd take a little bit of time to explain to you what my channel was about and to see if there's something you're interested in. So if you'd like to hear more about what The Independent has to offer, please stay tuned for this episode of... First, I'd like to talk a little bit about myself. My name is Jerome Corley. I've been involved in civic engagement for nearly my entire life. When I was younger, I worked in the community with my mother to gather signatures for local candidates running for municipal offices at the local, county, state level. I've also worked on a number of other political campaigns, for the state legislature in my home state of Illinois. While living in Florida, I worked on Barack Obama's re-election campaign. I believe that was 2012. Also, while living in Florida, I worked with John Morgan to get Amendment 2 passed for medical marijuana in the state of Florida. Unfortunately, they lost the first time around, but the second time around, they were able to get that passed. I wasn't living in Florida at that time, but, I'm very proud of that fight. I also while living in Orlando, Florida, I worked on Derek Wallace's campaign when he was running for mayor. At that time, I've just been very active, and I got involved with independent voting while living in Florida, probably around 2012 again, right shortly after Barack Obama won. I was looking for something more meaningful, and the independent voters movement has really given me a lot of opportunities for professional and personal growth. They've invested more in me than any of the political organization I've worked for as little that I've invested into them. I really invested a lot into them as well, but I just really like the payout that has occurred from the result of that. I think that there are opportunities to allow me to grow as an individual, I believe, is what has kept me so involved with this organization for as long as I have been involved. And also just the dynamic of the relationships that they look to build with their members is unlike any other organization that I've worked with in the past before as well. So my hat goes off to this organization. It's a great organization. Be sure to look up independentvoting.org. They're based out of New York City. And that's really about it. I'm not really too active with them now, even though this is an issue that I am passionate about. I'm really just sort of working on my own, because I really don't have the time to commit myself to the organization because of other opportunities that are arising within my career. So I'm just sort of doing some freelance work on my own, for myself on my own accord, because the last thing I want to do is commit to other people in an organization and I won't be able to follow through on my commitments. So I'm just doing this sort of just on my own to sort of keep my creativity flowing. This is like a hobby of mine, starting a YouTube channel, because, hey, it might turn into something else. I'm not entirely sure, but everyone needs a hobby, right? So this is something that I've always been interested in doing, and I finally, started pursuing it last year during the beginning of the COVID lockdown, shortly after Kobe Bryant passed away. I think his mentality, the Mamba mentality, definitely inspired a lot of people to greatness. And I think that taking on that Mamba mentality will sort of help me get to the next level in everything that I decide to pursue. So this channel we could say, is slightly dedicated, to none other than Kobe, because his mentality is what powered him to become one of the greats in the Hall of Fame of the NBA. So rest in peace to Mr. Bryant, the late Kobe Bryant. And I wish all of you success in your endeavors, and hopefully I will be successful in my endeavors too by applying and implementing that Mamba mentality, in my life as I pursue in this hobby of mine, which is this YouTube channel. I started this channel on the basis of creating something that I was passionate about. I've been involved in the independent voters movement for some time now, probably around 10 years or so. And I've always been interested in activism and civic engagement. And I had been thinking about making a YouTube channel for some time now, but I just didn't want to commit myself to the channel and not follow through with it. However, last year I was on a conference call with a few other members talking about the state of political affairs in the country, and I just really had a burst of creativity and this drive to start doing something revolving around my passions. You know, as I said before, I've been thinking about creating a YouTube channel for some time, and I thought, hey, you know, COVID was kicking in. You know, we had just started everything around COVID and the lockdown. And I thought that, hey, I need to do something, you know, with my time to be creative. And I thought to myself, you know, why don't I start a YouTube channel? And so I was skeptical to start the channel about independent politics. However, I decided, I was like, if I'm going to do this and go full steam ahead, I want to do it with something that I'm passionate about and with something that I know there's going to be some longevity as far as my passions and interests are concerned. So I decided to start this YouTube channel, you know, discussing about, you know, independent politics. I like to use this channel as a platform to shed some light on a very important subject of mine. I think this is a very definitive issue, you know, concerning our democracy today, closed primaries. You know, over 45% of the electorate identifies as independent. However, they are blocked from voting in the primaries, and the primaries actually determine 90% of elections, or at least who wins the general election. 45% of the electorate is independent. If they can't speak or voice their choice in the primary, the most important elections, you know, which determine who goes on to the general election, then how is that fair? How is our voting system fair? How is closed primaries fair? So I thought I would use this YouTube channel as a means to shed light on this issue in our democracy, as it's not getting much attention. You know, mainstream pundits, they write independents off, and they normally determine that we either sway Democrat or Republican. Me personally, I am registered, you know, as a Democrat. However, I do identify as an independent. I would say that ideologically, I fall somewhere in between the middle. And to me, I really haven't had the opportunity to register as an independent, but I'm going to do so when I get a spare moment. And to me, being an independent is a statement of rebellion against the two-party system. You know, I think that it's absolutely absurd that we are not allowed to participate in taxpayer-funded elections simply because we don't want to register for one of the two major parties. Now, this issue is not something a lot of people are familiar with, and I'd like to bring awareness to this issue to hopefully open up people's minds and get them actively engaged in trying to change the process and open up the primaries. Furthermore, I wanted to use this platform as a means for me to get my thoughts into the open public space. You know, I have a lot of ideas in this noggin of mine, and I really want to speak to the public and just let people know, you know, what I'm thinking. I think I have a lot of good ideas. I want to give a fresh perspective on things. I think a lot of times, a lot of the pundits or social media characters out there that are on the internet tend to get caught up in the party lines, and they're just reinforcing what everyone else is saying. They're not really giving you a new, fresh perspective. They're just telling you what their puppet masters want them to say in order to keep their audience tuned in. You know, it's more so about talking points, because in my opinion, I don't think that the issues are either right or left. I think they're somewhere centerfold. That's where you're going to find the truth. But none of these spectators on either side are really giving you that fresh, you know, true perspective. They're more so aligning their opinions with the extreme, or either what's on the left or the right, for the simple fact that they want to tune into those people's emotions. They don't really want to apply to their logic, because at that point, you know, you're stepping into a new boundary, you know, that most people don't really feel comfortable stepping in, because they're afraid that they may not gain sponsorship or they may not gain a following if they don't tap into the emotional aspect of politics. But me, I think I want to take a new approach to speaking about politics, one that tries to shine light on the truth of the matter, one that wants to bring a civic dialogue back to the political arena. as that's something that's lost. You know, we can't really have a civil discussion about anything these days without someone getting offended and someone getting mad and pointing the finger at the other and not really wanting to sit down and have an actual conversation. You know, we can see this now in Congress, where the bipartisanship is just so rampant that the political parties can't come together to find solutions to the problems that everyday Americans are facing. So once again, although this platform is sort of like my soapbox, I don't want to get caught up in the emotions behind everything, because when you get caught up in the emotions, you're blindsided and you're not really focusing on the solution as much as you are the problem. You know, me, I'm a solution finder. I like to focus on the solution. I'm very pragmatic. I want to move forward and try to find the best solution, you know, to get everyone what they need so we can move forward together. So this channel is definitely going to be different now. I'm going to give you a fresh perspective on things. I'm not going to really be trying to, I may oftentimes tell you stuff you don't want to hear, but how can you change if you don't look at yourself in the mirror and, you know, look at that fresh perspective, look at truth, and, you know, dig deep within to discover the darkness and understand, you know, what's really going on, because the first thing you have to do is admit there's a problem in order to seek and create a solution. What you can expect from me, like I said, again, for the most part, this channel definitely is directed towards the independent voters movement. I do from time to time want to give my perspective on political happenings in the present day. I also probably am going to be interviewing key figures in the communities in which I live in, you know, that are of interest to me and that I think are doing interesting work that is aligned with my mindset and how I live my life. You know, I also I like to lead by example. So I'll probably, you know, give you a little bit of tidbits that I've, you know, have incorporated into my lifestyle, which have proven successful to me, because ultimately I think that in order for us to change our American society and the country that we live in, we have to change our individual selves. I think that there are a lot of problems going on in the country today, and a lot of people are oftentimes looking outwards for someone to come and fix the solution, or, you know, find the solution, apply the solution to fix the problem. But I think oftentimes that, you know, if we look hard enough inside of ourselves, we can find that those solutions rest with us. The buck stops with us, and we are the solution that we are seeking. And I think that if we take this ground up approach, that there's nothing that we as Americans cannot do, and there's no way that we can't bounce back out of the situation that we're in, you know, and I think that's really what the American grit is about. It's about pushing forward. It's about, you know, coming together as a community. It's about realizing that we are in control of our own destiny, and that no one can take that away. No one can take that sense of agency away from us. We, at the end of the day, have to get out there and work together to make our country better and things of that nature. I almost want to say make our country great again, but, you know, that may, you know, rouse up the wrong crowd, or, you know, that might, you know, offend a couple of people depending on what side of the aisle you stand on, you know. But also, this channel is a great way for me to get my creative juices flowing. You know, it's going to be a creative outlet for me. I'm really trying to decide on where I want to take my channel and how I want to do things. You know, I'm playing with the idea of making it more of a scripted television show versus me just speaking to you in newscaster fashion. So it might be a little bit of both, but I really want to play with creativity to see how I can, you know, make this show a little bit more entertaining and interactive, you know, from a creative standpoint, to make it more engaging, and also, you know, bring fun to something that is very educational and enlightening, to broaden your minds and things of that nature. Well, folks, there you have it. That's a brief synopsis of what this channel is about, The Independent. You can follow me on YouTube. You can subscribe here, or you can follow me on Instagram. I'm also working on a Facebook page. But please just stay tuned for more content coming at you. Until next time, free the voters.